Hello, it's Adam here, also known as ABanimationLtd, and welcome to my second development log for Interstellar Voyage. Now you're probably wondering what that just was there. You probably saw how the planet Earth rushed towards us, and now we've got this little screen here which says your ship burnt up in the atmosphere, press enter to restart. So yeah, as you can see, as you've probably gathered, there's now sort of basic implementation of death in the game, although it only really works with the spaceship crashing at the moment rather than the actual player dying. But yeah, obviously it says press enter to restart, so we'll do that. And now we've been put at a new planet that we haven't seen before. This is Mercury, and I've actually spawned myself quite close to it. The actual position is hard coded right now. Obviously I haven't implemented anything like save games yet, but I put myself here on Mercury because this is the first planet where I've actually completed the second stage of the thing. Now I am actually increasing in altitude, and that's not really what I wanted. I'm not sure why that's happening. It should be descending, but apparently it's not, so I'll have to cut the recording and reload us back in, going the right way, because otherwise we're going to be here a while waiting for the orbit to bring us down low enough. So yeah, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're back. We'll have to go through this again. There we go. And yes, okay, we're back at Mercury again, and now we're actually descending towards the surface. So shortly, we're going to get within a minimum range of sorts, where the actual planet sprite here will actually stop rendering, and it's replaced by this sort of placeholder type thing right here, and the actual frame rate, as we got very close there, dropped massively, but now that it's been replaced by this sort of placeholder graphic here for being very close to the planet, it is nice and high and stable again. Because obviously if I kept drawing that sprite for the planet larger and larger, the frame rate just plummets, and even the game clock itself starts to break, and it's not very fun. So rather than having to kind of crawl around on 1 frame a second, we're currently just using this sort of placeholder graphic texture. So when this happens, you are actually within range to land on the planet that you're orbiting, and I think I already said we're at Mercury, and currently this is just done by typing land into the computer, and now as you can see our velocity is 0, our distance is 0, so we've basically landed on the surface of Mercury. So what we're going to do is walk down here, because down here I've added this little airlock, which is actually an entity, and what happens is press E, and now we are outside. So this is the second actual level that's been added to the game, apart from the spaceship interior, which is supposed to be the surface of Mercury. So it's got little rocks everywhere, you can't go through those, and these are meant to be little craters. Nothing much fancy at the moment. You see the surface looks very gravelly. Nothing really exciting to look at yet. But yeah, obviously you can walk around and everything without a spacesuit currently. Eventually I'll add it so that planets without an atmosphere, you have to have a spacesuit in order to go outside, whereas if it's got a breathable atmosphere like Earth, you don't need a spacesuit and that type of thing. And while I'm on the subject of like atmospheres and stuff like that, what I will have is, well, you saw earlier when I got too close to the Earth, it actually said that we've burnt up in the atmosphere. So what I kind of want is a system where some ships won't be able to enter atmospheres, so very big ships like the one we've got here. So any kind of ship can land on a planet without an atmosphere, like Mercury. So anyone could land here on Mercury because it's not got an atmosphere. However, only like smaller ships will be able to land on a planet with an atmosphere like Earth. So maybe some sort of shuttle, which is like in hangar bay on board this ship, and then you go on the shuttle to go down to the planet, because if you try to bring this ship down to the planet Earth, well, as you saw, it burnt up in the atmosphere. So that's sort of what I'm wanting to go for with that. And of course, there are some places in the solar system where if you try and land, no matter what kind of ship you're in, you will die. Obviously, the most obvious example of that is the sun. You can't land on the sun if you weren't aware, and such things as those. So this does work both ways, so I can reboard the ship again. So that's all that. And yeah, so that's the progress. I've also got a lot more to do. I'm going to be working on actually making the ship like properly flyable soon, so you'll be able to change the orbits by burning your engines, either prograde or retrograde, to change the orbit and fly to different places. That's the next major task, which will probably be quite difficult, but we'll see what we can do. I'm going to have to obviously program surface for all the other planets and everything, and sprites for them all, because so far Mercury is the only such example. So there is a lot to do, but obviously this is a massive step forward over the last video. Now we can actually land on a planet when we're within range, and we can walk outside on the surface and have a look around. So yeah, I don't think there's really much more that's been added, so that's all from me for now. If you liked this video, well, like would really be appreciated. Subscribe for more, and don't forget to leave feedback in the comments. Again, thanks for watching, and bye bye.